Welcome to Get It Growing, the gardening program of the Lafayette Parish Master Gardener. My name is Genee Foley, and today we are delighted to have with us Mauri Robichaux, who is with the Environmental Quality Division of the Lafayette Consolidated Government. And what a title. Mauri is a recycling specialist. And after Mauri talked to us at our last meeting, we knew that we had to share the wonderful wealth of information that she has with our Get It Growing audience. Mauri, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are more than welcome. There are so many wonderful things going on with your division. What's the thing that you're the most excited about, the proudest of?
What I'm the most proud of is our recycling program. We do have the #1 recycling program in the state of Louisiana. We actually reduce our waste stream by about 48.5% every year, which is tops. That's a great number. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Right. I was excited. I was really excited to learn about the wonderful opportunities, we had in the parish. I think the department is starting to shine, and more of the citizens are becoming aware of the wonderful services that are provided to us.
Correct. With our new 64-gallon wheeled cart with the lid that Recycling Foundation is using now within the city of Lafayette, that has really brought our participation rate up. We are doing awesome with that. More and more people are getting involved every day, which we're happy to have.
Great. So everyone then within the city should have these new containers.
Yes, if they do not, they can contact the Recycling Foundation at 234-0066 specifically to just receive the cart. You can go ahead and give them a call. Now, that is only for residents in the city of Lafayette that actually bring their garbage to the street to have it picked up. If you use a dumpster, then you do not have that service available to you.
Okay, so just within the city, and if you have not, gotten this new container, give Mauri and her division a call.
Yes.
Now, I also received at the meeting a copy of your Lafayette Pride Guide.
Yes, we do have our wonderful Lafayette Pride Guide, which we do have available. It is available at City Hall here in Lafayette. It is available at almost all city halls within the parish. We do also have lots of other places it is available, so you can give our office a call at 291-8529, and we will let you know where there is a facility close to you that has the Pride Guide. And what the Pride Guide does is it tells you all about our recycling program here in Lafayette Parish. It gives you all the 12 drop-off locations that we have and what you can actually put in your recycling containers. And it also tells you how to get rid of a lot of hard-to-get-rid-of items, such as rechargeable batteries, cell phone, oil, antifreeze, latex paint. So it gives you a lot of information on how to get rid of almost anything.
Right. So if you're not been in the recycling mainstream, but you really, you're interested now with the new containers, it's made things so much easier.
Yes.
And you can pick up this guide, go through it at your leisure, and and there's places you can call too if you still have questions. But this was just an absolutely wonderful and educational booklet to pick up. So that this is your first step, is get your booklet and get your container, and you're ready to actually start recycling, and see if we can't pull the recycling figures even higher.
Exactly. In fact, on the bottom of every page is our office phone number that you can go ahead and give us a call if you have any questions. In fact, our #1 part of our recycling program is our compost facility, which we love. It actually reduces the waste stream by about 30%. Our curbside recycling does not have full participation rate because people have to call to get the curbside containers, but our yard waste recycling program does, because everyone puts their yard waste to the street and picks it up. And allied waste, what they do pick up, they bring to our compost facility, and we turn it into compost for any resident to pick up for free.
And we can vouch for the wonderful product that is being turned out by our local government. All of the beds at our demo garden are filled with this compost product. It's just wonderful product, and it's available to anyone. They have little magnets Mauri had brought to our meeting that have the normal times that the facility is open. Very, very, seldom do you have a wait, drive up with your trailer, your pickup truck, There's one big scoop that drops down into the bed of your pickup, and you're ready to go garden with a wonderful product. And if, at times they do run out, but you can, check on their recorded message too to see how those supplies are running.
Correct. We are fine right now. We are not getting close to running out at this time. And we went through the big spring rush, and we still have quite a bit left.
Right. So, if you have not tried the compost, give that a try too. It's just a wonderful product. Now, you also brought to the meeting your little handy-dandy pocket ashtray.
Yes, we will be talking about our litter ordinance, and we do have these pocket ashtrays. I have two different styles. This is one that opens up in the back. This was given to us by Keep Louisiana Beautiful, and this is for people for whenever they do smoke, and they, instead of throwing their cigarettes down, they can put them in here till they get to a trash can and go ahead and empty it. Through our litter ordinance, if someone is turned in with a cigarette butt, they do receive a warning letter. And now in the letter, we are sending these little pocket ashtrays out with each letter so that people can put their cigarettes in here. And it's the same thing, not throw them out of the vehicle, not drop them on the street, because they do last in the environment anywhere from 7 to 30 years. They do not just go away, which a lot of people don't realize. So this is something that you can use so that you're not littering our community, because cigarettes are the #1 form of litter in the United States.
And I was really surprised that they don't biodegrade. I guess you say, tobacco it's a plant, you flip it out and there you go, 3 or 4 rains like we've had, and the whole thing just disappears into Mother Earth, but that's not true.
That is not true, because the bottom part of the cigarette, which is the filter, is actually made of plastic. And that's why it takes so long for it to biodegrade. And that bottom part of the cigarette, which is the filter, is holding all those harmful chemicals in it, and they end up on the side of the road and in our waterways, and our water ends up with all of those harmful chemicals in it. So it is a really bad situation. We are asking everyone, please just do not litter your cigarettes, because it does cause a little bit of harm to the environment.
And now, you briefly mentioned the new littering ordinance.
Yes, we do have the Lafayette Parish litter ordinance that we just passed, and you'll see some of these signs. We have 27 of them up around the parish. Of course, they are quite a bit larger than this, and it has our number for the litter hotline. And this is so that if you and I would pull out of this parking lot today and you saw me throw something out of my vehicle, you could call and turn me in. You call the number, you turn in the type of vehicle, license plate number, date, time, and roadway, and where it happened. And if you're willing to come in and sign an affidavit, then I would actually receive a citation for littering.
And the purpose of the affidavit is to keep people from making nuisance or maybe vindictive calls.
Correct. That's why it's to protect the person receiving the citation from anyone that just doesn't like them trying to turn them in.
Right.
Now, we have issued 114 citations since we initiated the ordinance, and we have also issued over 400 cigarette butt warning letters, because the first time someone is caught just throwing out a cigarette butt, it is just a warning letter to inform you that cigarette is litter, because most people, they may not litter anything else, but they will litter a cigarette. They just don't think of it as litter. So we do issue them just a warning letter. And we have had our first citation go out that someone received a warning letter and then they were caught again. So they did receive a citation.
Let's take a minute and talk about some specifics.
Okay, great.
Okay. I know that one thing you cannot recycle. There are a few things that are not recyclable. And unfortunately, one of those things is styrofoam.
Yes, we have not found a company that will take styrofoam back. In fact, whenever we did upgrade to the carts, before the carts we only took in plastic, #1 and #2 plastic, which you look for the recycling symbol on the bottom. Now we do take all 7 number plastics, 1 through 7. Styrofoam is a #6 plastic, but this is also, if you look on here, it does have a #6 in the recycling symbol. They will accept it in this form, but just not the styrofoam.
Not the white styrofoam, unfortunately.
Correct, because we do not have a company that will take that back. And the top of this also has a recycling symbol on it that is a #6. So whenever you do see something like this, check to make sure that the lid and the bottom both have the recycling symbol on it. And if it does, and it's numbered 1 through 7, and it's not styrofoam, you can put both the lid and the bottom in your recycling container.
And talk about a little bit about the recycling symbol, the arrows.
What the arrows stand for is it stands for reduce, reuse, recycle. That's what the 3 arrows in the form of a triangle. It's to close, it's a loop so that it's continuous. We want to go ahead and first off, we want you to reduce the amount of garbage you actually bring into your home. We don't want as much garbage in, and that's buying things that are like refillable so that you can refill the container instead of throwing away the pump every time you throw something away. And it's just looking at how much you actually bring into your home. Then the second is we want you to reuse as much as you can, like reusing margarine tubs or butter tubs and using those again for other things in your home, like putting your leftovers in. And then lastly, what you're unable to reuse, if you can, we would like you to recycle it. So that's what the symbol stands for.
And now we haven't talked about this yet. With the new containers, you don't have to separate.
Correct. There is no separation. The Recycling Foundation now has an automated sorter, which it is a wonderful machine, and it actually sorts everything itself. The only thing that people actually sort is the plastics. The machine sorts all the plastics into one area, and then they sort the different numbers.
All right, and we've said now you cannot yet recycle the styrofoam nor paper plates.
Correct. In our paper, you can recycle almost all forms of paper. We take loose leaf paper, notebook paper, workbook paper, newspapers, magazines. It doesn't matter if it's glossy paper. It doesn't matter what's written on the paper. We accept it all except for paper plates and paper cups because of the fact that that absorbs food whenever you eat it, and it absorbs the liquid. So we don't accept that. And then we also take cardboard, but we do not accept pizza boxes for the same reason.
For the same reason.
Yes.
Aluminum foil.
No, that's exactly right. We take aluminum and steel cans only in the form of cans. We do not accept aluminum foil.
And plastic bags, the many plastic bags that we, bring from the grocery store.
Exactly. A lot of places do have the recycling symbol on it, and it does say that it is a number 2 plastic, but we do not accept that at this time. But there are many stores in the area that do recycle it. Walmart's accept them back. Albertsons accepts them back. Winn-Dixie accepts them back. And it doesn't have to be for that specific store's bags. You can bring back any bags to those stores.
And of course, we always have the option of reusing them too. I mean, we use hundreds at our plant sales. We all, bring them in, and they make great little carry-home containers for your plant. So you do have the option of reusing these too.
That's wonderful.
It really is. Now let's talk a little bit. The LSU Ag Center has many guides in addition to your Pride Guide. I was amazed really when at what the Cooperative Extension offers that echoes what's in the Pride Guide.
Correct.
So if you're in the courthouse and have an opportunity to go into the extension office, they also have a wonderful variety. The reduce, reuse, and recycle that you were just talking about. Waste facts, recycling aluminum, recycling paper, reusing, recycling glass, the disposing of household hazardous waste.
Well, in fact, disposing of household hazardous waste, we do have Household Chemical Day, which we have held. We held it twice within the past year. Right now, we do have a tentative date scheduled for October 27th. So if anyone, we are definitely doing it in the fall. Like I said, that is a tentative date right now. We're not exactly sure if that's going to hold up or not, but in the bottom of the Pride Guide, and I believe they will be giving out our number, also 291-8529. You can call whenever the fall comes, and we will be able to tell you the exact date of the Household Chemical Day so that you can bring everything to us and we'll dispose of it.
And okay, what do you not accept at your Household Chemical Days?
Well, we used to accept tires, oil, antifreeze, rechargeable batteries, but the Pride Guide tells you of places that you can get rid of that Monday through Friday on a regular basis at no charge. So we are no longer accepting that at our Household Chemical Day. The only things we are accepting is, of course, your household chemicals, paints, paint thinners, insecticides, pesticides, any type of chemical that you come across. And then we also accept electronics because we do not have an electronic drop-off station here in Lafayette.
Right, and I participated in the last day. It was amazing to see the volume that was collected.
It was. Now our last one, last October, People did have to wait quite a while in line, but we have recently moved. We are now doing it at Cajun Field, and
Right.
there is no longer the long wait. Maybe only about a 30-minute wait was the longest that anyone had to wait in the spring. So we are very excited with our new place that we are having, new site.
Right. I was impressed. I was really impressed. It's a learning experience too. I mean, the first one or two times you hold something, there are going to be some kinks.
Correct.
And you have some little growing pains, but just to have the opportunity to dispose of everything correctly is wonderful.
Exactly. What a lot of people don't realize is our storm drains go directly to the river. So if you see someone dumping paint or oil down the storm drains, please let them know that the storm drains do not go through the sewer system. They flow directly to the river. So anything that gets dumped down the storm drains do flow directly to the river. So please make sure not to pour any chemicals down your storm drains.
And we've talked on the show before that it's sort of a misconception that agriculture and big business are polluters. A lot of the times, biggest polluter is your friendly next door neighbor.
That is true.
A lot of it is just ignorance. People have not grown up being conscious of all of the dangers of chemicals.
Correct.
But like I said, many times it's us. It's not big business. It's not, the agriculture industry. So we all have to, start educating ourselves and see what we can do, to improve our environment.
Exactly. A lot of that is just reading directions, especially with fertilizers, insecticides, and pesticides. Read the directions. Use only what it tells you to use. You can think sometimes if I use more fertilizer, it's going to look better. But it's not. What happens is all that fertilizer, whenever it rains, actually runs off into our rivers and bayous. So only use what is directed.
Right.
Don't overuse, because then that just runs off into our
We have
into our
talked,
water.
more and more that more is not better. Use the amount. It's been calculated. It's been tested.
Exactly.
And stop, stop right there. One thing we're doing at the greenhouse is using some of the ready mix pesticides, because if you buy the concentrate, it is, even in the smaller bottles, it's just more volume than you can go through.
Correct.
So we've taken to using the ready mix. You use it up, and it's gone. Now let's get back to our specifics. We haven't talked about aluminum cans yet.
Only aluminum cans and tin and steel cans. We do not accept the pie pans. Only the cans is what you can go ahead and put in your recycling container.
Okay, so not the little, we'll say the pans that would come at the bottom of a pie.
No.
Okay.
Now, there are reasons that we recycle these specific things. Of course, paper saves trees. In fact, just newspaper, Americans in 1 year, what they throw away just in newspaper equals 30 million trees. So if everyone would recycle just their newspaper, we could save 30 million trees from being cut down every year. And everything that we do recycle, that we do have in the Pride Guide, that tells you can put in your carts, or inside the top of your cart you do have a sticker that tells you what you can place in there. Mm-hmm. Everything that we do accept does become a new item. It is recycled and turned into a new item.
And marked with the solid color arrow.
Correct.
On that.
Correct.
And one of my favorites, we have to talk about this, is using newspaper. You can recycle your newspaper, but newspaper actually makes a wonderful weed barrier if you have not used it in your garden. Most of the new inks are soy based. As a matter of principle, I just use the black and white pages. I don't use the glossy pages. But if you're using newspaper as a barrier, be sure that you use about 20 sheets of it. In other parts of the country, they can use 5 or 6 sheets. Here, we cannot do that. You've got to have 20 sheets of it. You've got to get it really wet, and you've got to cover every inch. If you leave, a half an inch gap, I promise you a weed seed, is going to be there, and you're going to have weeds coming up. So you really need to crisscross your wet newspapers, and it makes a wonderful barrier that if you do it correctly, use about 20 sheets of newspapers, it's going to last you a couple of years. So it's something, we do at the garden. It's worked on dollar weed. So that's another use for some of your newsprint if you don't want to recycle all of it.
Now, a lot of things that some people do not realize is they don't realize that plastic is actually a petroleum-based product. Plastic is made from oil. And I just got a new tidbit recently, actually within the past few weeks, that just water bottles in 1 year, just to make water bottles, we use 40 million gallons of oil.
Right.
Just to make just water bottles. So that's a lot of oil that's going to do that. That's a number one reason to recycle as much plastic as you can, because when you recycle this is going to be turned into new plastic. So we're not going to be using the new oil pulled from the ground to make the plastic. So everything that we recycle, you are saving a natural resource, albeit trees, plastic, ore from the metals, and then glass is made from sand. We do also recycle glass. Glass is in only bottles and jars. No window pane glasses, no eyeglasses, no drinking glasses, only bottles and jars.
We just became aware, it's funny how when people start talking about things, because we do recycle our water bottles, but just at the greenhouse the other day, somebody brought up the fact that, really we need to get a water fountain. Here we go through such quantities of water. Why are we going to the trouble, of going to the store, hauling water? We have a wonderful municipal water system.
Correct.
We need to get a water fountain. We need to eliminate, do our small part, in other words, to, slow the waste stream down. So I don't
Correct.
know, another committee's looking into that, but we are at least becoming aware. So much of it is just education and somebody saying, oh, wait a minute, we need to think about this.
That's reducing the waste that you
Right.
bring in, because you're not going to be disposing of it. And you do have a water bottle, you can refill it at the water fountain to carry with you so
Right.
that you can be farther away and use the water.
So have we forgotten any? We haven't talked about the wax products.
Correct. They are now, when we did go to the new cart, you can go ahead and throw away the wax containers. For your milk cartons or any of that can be put in there. Your frozen dinner boxes can be placed in there. You can also place your cereal boxes, macaroni and cheese boxes. That can all be flattened and put inside of your cart for recycling. And as I said earlier, when we were talking about the Pride Guide, we do have 12 drop-off locations for residents that live in the unincorporated parts of the parish. Also, the city of Scott is no longer doing curbside recycling. The city of Youngsville does, the city of Broussard and the city of Scott all do have curbside recycling. But for residents that do not, we do have the 12 drop-off locations where you can bring your recycling and drop it off. And for the residents in Scott that did just lose their curbside recycling, the park in Scott has a container where you can bring all of your recycling there.
So have we covered, can you think of any important points that we haven't covered? We've covered the plastics, we've covered styrofoam. What about garbage bags?
No. Now, if you do have a shredder at home, a lot of people now have the shredders to protect their information. We do take the shredded paper in a bag. You can go ahead and put that in the container, just because if not, if it's a windy day, blustery day, as they're dumping it, the shredding paper can end up blowing down the street. But we do not accept garbage bags. We ask that you just place everything in your container. And of course, things like tin cans, please rinse them out before you go ahead and put them in your container. Aluminum cans, it's always good if they're soft drink cans to rinse them out also, because if not, the juices will get in the bottom of your cart and they definitely attract bees. So just make sure to rinse everything out. You don't have to use soap and water, and on the aluminum cans you do not have to remove the paper, and you can put that in.
Okay, and yogurt containers, sticky applesauce containers.
Correct. Just rinse that out.
Or just get the bulky.
Correct.
Okay.
Get the bulky out.
And
yes.
Ketchup bottles?
Ketchup bottle, same thing.
Same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, whenever it comes to liquid laundry detergent, shampoo and conditioner, a lot of people don't look at that, but you can use your shampoo and conditioner, hand lotion containers. All of that is recyclable also. Now that it's not so bad to rinse out, because that sort of smells good.
Right, right. And I mean, I think most of us usually use the last of the mayonnaise and the last of the ketchup before we discard the containers. We do have a few housekeeping things to talk about. We have, of course, with all of the rain, the potential, and this is, you know, sort of being environmentally conscious too. It's time to walk through your yards and dump all of the receptacles that hold standing water to decrease our mosquito population. Do not forget to use spray if you're going out at dawn or dusk. Notify the proper departments. If you find a dead bird in your yard, bag it very carefully, you know, doing the reverting plastic bag. Do not forget that the Lafayette Parish Master Gardeners are still accepting applications for our new Master Gardener program, which will start in the fall. Mauri, we were so delighted to have you here. Remember, if there are some areas that we have not covered, and in a half an hour you miss a few things, pick up a copy of your Pride Guide. Call Mauri's office. They're delighted to help you and answer any specifics that you have. Look for the information on the next Household Chemical Day, and we hope to see you there.
Thank you again for having me.
Very good. Y'all done?
Yes.
All right. Woo-hoo.